Have you ever pondered the paradox of sacrificing freedom for security? The uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism act, more commonly known as the Patriot Act, has been a subject of such contemplation for many. In the wake of the tragic events of September 11, 2001, the United States government felt a pressing need to bolster the nation's security. Enter the Patriot Act, hastily introduced by Congress and signed into law by then-President George W. Bush, a mere 6 weeks after the attacks. It was touted as a necessary measure to keep Americans safe from the threat of terrorism. But at what cost? The Patriot Act, in its pursuit of security, fundamentally altered the landscape of civil liberties in America. It expanded the government's authority to monitor its citizens, granting law enforcement agencies sweeping surveillance powers. The Fourth Amendment, which protects Americans from unreasonable searches and seizures, was left in a precarious state. The fine print of the Patriot Act effectively allowed the government to pry into personal communications, financial records, and other private information without a warrant. Fast forward to 2015, the USA Freedom Act was passed as a supposed reform to the Patriot Act. While it did end the bulk collection of Americans' phone records, it allowed for continued surveillance in other capacities. The USA Freedom Act was, in many ways, a mere repackaging of the same intrusive policies. Today, the legacy of the Patriot Act lives on. Although its name has faded from public discourse, its provisions continue to shape the contours of American privacy rights. The Act has set a precedent for the erosion of civil liberties in the name of national security, a trend that has only intensified in the years since its inception. In summary, the Patriot Act, introduced with the promise of enhanced security, broadened the government's powers of surveillance, often at the expense of constitutionally protected rights. It was propelled by President George W. Bush and has since evolved, albeit with little improvement to its controversial nature. Its current state, under the guise of the USA Freedom Act, continues to infringe upon the privacy of American citizens. The question remains, have the safety measures delivered by the Patriot Act justified its inherent invasions of privacy? Or has the pursuit of security inadvertently paved the way for a surveillance state? The balance between security and liberty, it seems, is a delicate one. As the conversation around the Patriot Act continues, it serves as a stark reminder of the complex interplay between national security and personal freedom.